So there were a lot of good Star Wars Black Series figures that came out in 2021. I didn't get all of them, but here are some that I thought were the best. Here's my top 10 Star Wars Black Series action figures. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. When you do a top 10 for the year, it's kind of interesting because there are figures that were scheduled for release and delivery for this year that maybe got pushed back, and there were figures that you were expecting next year that actually showed up early. And in my case, that's kind of what happened with some of my top 10 that I'm going to put in my 2021 this year. So I had quite a few figures. You know, Grief Karga came out this year, Dark Ray came out this year, the Elite Squad Trooper, you got all the Bad Batch figures, right? You got that Cantina Showdown that came out, that was a PulseCon. And there were figures that I did not pick up, right? Some of them were like different kinds of repaints and stuff like that. I'm going to quickly go through my top 10 figures because for 2021, Star Wars Black Series. And I'm going to start off with this guy right here. This is Ponda Baba. And one of the reasons he makes it into my top 10 is because he's an alien. And I think as far as Star Wars is concerned, I think that they need to add more creatures into the Black Series line. And I really love this one, right? The head's just awesome. And then this is the one from the Cantina Showdown. So he came with like those little hoof hands and stuff like that. So he makes it, and he's my number 10. So what I thought wouldn't happen, actually, is I never expected to have Stormtroopers in my top 10. This is the new Stormtrooper that came out in that latest wave. This is a Rogue One Stormtrooper, and man, I just think it's cool. I know it's just a Stormtrooper with like the shoulders guard here, and it's a different color than the other ones that I had. He's got his like rifle, but just love the way he looks in that pack. So he is my number 9. So my number 8 is also a Stormtrooper. This is the Artillery Trooper, and he's got a similar paint scheme, only it's in yellow as like the Incinerator Trooper. And the thing is, he comes with these awesome accessories with these pieces on the back, and they pop out and drop right into his little artillery piece, which I think is super cool. Now, my number 7 figure is this Migs Mayfeld. He would have posed much higher on my top 10 if they would have had the jailbreak version of Migs Mayfeld. I think Hasbro kind of like went quick and dirty on this, and I did get a comment in my review of this and pointing out in the show he doesn't have the red armband. It's the Mandalorian or Din Djarin that has the red armband. So they just basically, this is like a reused body from that Solo, the Mimbin Trooper, but the fact that they got this like helmet that comes off and that face sculpt is super awesome just puts it in my top 10. This is actually a super cool looking figure. I mean, this is really cool to have in your collection. Now, my number 6 figure is Wrecker. It took a long time for Wrecker to come in, but man, this guy is super cool. He kind of towers over some of the other figures. You can compare him to Migs, and this helmet paintwork is just phenomenal. And then when you get the helmet off and you see all of the scarring on his face, that just looks fantastic. I mean, I was really impressed with this figure. Rounding out my top 5, Bodhi Rook. Come on, how many years did it take to get Bodhi as part of the crew here from Rogue One? So I got 2 figures in my top 10 that are Rogue One. One is a Stormtrooper and one is Bodhi, and Bodhi is number 5. I know he's kind of a simple figure and stuff like that. I mean, the legs just barely give you like the 90 degrees. It's like those suit legs that they got for the Marvel Legends. But he comes with this really cool pack, which makes him basically save the day. And I wish these goggles came off, but the face sculpt on this is phenomenal. And just the whole working of this like vest and everything looks fantastic. And it's just about time that we finally get Bodhi to add in with the crew of Rogue One. So my number 4 on my list is the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. Now the thing is with this Boba Fett, I think it's like super cool. Becomes in my top 10 because of the possibilities that they have with this figure. So this is kind of redesigned a little bit, and you can see like they had a head underneath, and I went ahead and painted that one myself, and I added some extra scarring in there. But the fact that they redesigned this like chest piece that would just slip on and off another body just made it possible for all the other figures that are going to come out, right? The halfway version of Boba Fett, which I'm sure is coming, the re-armored Boba Fett, Cobb Vanth figure, you know. So this kind of redesign with the helmet, removable helmet and everything is just really, really cool and well deserved to be in the top 10. I mean, that is a great figure. And how can you have a top 10 without a Boba Fett? So my number 3 figure is this clone version of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, I think they really nailed this face sculpt. I think it looks really fantastic. And I was super glad to kind of get this one. These were the ones that came on those bubbles. They were in like those special cards. I just think this whole thing is kind of really, really cool. I mean, this guy is like my favorite Ben Kenobi. Now my number 2 figure is Bo-Katan. Now this early on in the year, I knew was going to be in my top 10. The helmet just looks awesome. This one would have been in my top 10 also, but it's practically the same figure. Now this head sculpt is awesome. It was Bo-Katan that I got first in my collection, and Bo-Katan's the one that really makes it to the top 10. That's my number 2. So basically here, we're left down to my number 1 figure, which is a recently came into my collection, and it is the Fennec Shand action figure. Now this one is by far one of the coolest figures that I have in my collection. It looks so awesome. This outfit is fantastic, and the face sculpt, in my mind, that is spot on with the hair and the fit. Everything about this figure is just awesome, right down to the helmet. Now the helmet comes on, and this is super cool because that ponytail sticks out. This is really neat, and this is my number 1 figure. So this has been my top 10 Star Wars Black Series for 2021. Tell me what you think. Tell me which figures you wouldn't have had in here and which figures you might have added. Leave me some comments down below, because I know you got your collections too and you have your favorites. And I'm not trying to tell you what the best are, but for me, this is my top 10. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time and spending a few moments with me. And as always, everybody, have a great day.